How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation episode review. This is Season 2, Episode 21, entitled The Sixth Magical Stratum. Before I go any further, please hit the like button. It really does help me out. Subscribe and hit the notification bell so you can be notified of more reviews just like this one. If you want to support me even further, my Patreon link is in the description below. Anything you decide to give will be very much appreciated. Trying to come up with some new things to hand out, but that's a topic for a different video. In this video, we're going to talk about what's going on after Rudy rescues Roxy. And this episode is just chocked full of, well, let's just call them hints, right? Things that are very obvious, although with Rudy's 16, this is what I've been saying probably since the beginning or middle of this series of me covering it. That may have the mind of like a 35. That would make him older than me. Of a 35-year-old mind or something in there. But he's still 16 and he still doesn't get everything. Although in this medieval world, I guess you can become a man at the age of 16, right? You got a lot of stuff that, I guess life expectancy is super low. I mean, they do have dragons and giant scorpions and monsters and succubi and griffins. They have a lot of stuff that you can't befriend. And I don't know, maybe it's because I watch a lot of monster raising things. I kind of wish you would just befriend some of these things. What if they have dinosaurs in this world? That wouldn't surprise me. But I digress, right? So the crux, the big meat of this episode is after Rudy's rescued Roxy, she is all blushy, shy around him. You just see her stealing glances at him. As a matter of fact, at one point when they're going through the fourth stratum, you see that she looks at him, that her eyes dart around. I love the animation on that though, right? Excuse me, that is such a fine detail to have her look at him, then eyes dart there, and then look down, and then say something else, correct? Because it's super easy just to have her look at him, then look down, and then change the subject. Really, really, really nice detail. I'm still having some technical difficulties here, so just ignore that black screen. Yeah. And at the very beginning, she said she did not recognize him. I said, oh, snap. Does this labyrinth make you forget shit? Because he hugged her and she was like, I don't know you. She didn't even say it. She says, I smell, and introduces herself. And Rudy, mixed with the joy of having found her and rescued her, but also with the sorrow that he thought that she had actually forgot about him, thrown up. And she had told Tallhand, our gay dwarf friend, don't stay too close to me, even though he was carrying her. I smell so bad I made Rudy throw up. And he's like, well, no, you don't smell bad. He actually enjoyed the way she smelled. Freak. Wait, and then he clicked. He's like, oh, you recognize me. She just hadn't put together that he was the same little Rudy from all those years ago. Because now he is basically towering over her. You can't even see where my hand is. That's how much taller he is than she. And before this, we saw at the very beginning of the episode how we got to this point. Her POV almost from being stuck in that stratum, the third stratum of the dungeon, because she got into a circle. And then she passed a rock, put an X on it. She's hiding from monsters. She's killing monsters with ice. Then she passes it again. We see 3 marks. And then we see like over a dozen marks. And we get the thoughts of her mind. She says, every time I go into a circle, it takes me back to the same level. And, excuse me, in her mind, she's thinking like, damn, I'm going to die here. And she's like, I don't want to die, right? I'm still got things I need to do. She wants to have a taste of an ordinary life, or should I say ordinary happiness, like her mother and father did. And she thinks she's going to die horribly, and her dreams won't come true. So she's just going to try to keep moving forward, which I'm looking at my notes here. I do like that in here you have the lady characters. The boots they wear, it's a wedge. It's not a high heel, it's a wedge. I I have some, I don't know, not so, for lack of better words, not so friendly. When I think about cosplay, I always see cosplays with the super high heels. I'm like, doesn't that hurt? Like even the adventurers wear wedges. Something I pay attention to. Although if you watch Transformers Prime, Starscream's foot is literally a stiletto. It's quite interesting. I digress. We're talking about Mushoku Tensei, right? And so Rudy saves her, blah, 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 blah. And we get to the point where, like, she needs to rest a little bit. Geese gives her the book that Rudy supplied them with. Paul tells her, read up on it. He's pacing back and forth, and he jumps at the chance to read with her. He even makes a note that, man, she's tiny. She could fit right in my lap. He's like, but she'll be mad if I did that. And she's glancing and blushing while you're sitting there. Rudy is so thick in the head. He's so damn dumb. But he does reflect and say, wow, this is probably what Sylphie felt when I didn't recognize her at first. So when I go home, I'm definitely going to apologize. Good, because I also thought it was stupid, because when I looked at her, I said, that's Sylphie just without green hair. I digress. It's a thing that happens in real life, right? At least it's happened to me. Like, no, I can recognize certain people, right? You recognize people. You always forget people all the time, but people who you should know, it's happened where I'm in front of them. They're like, you look familiar, but I don't know. And I'm like, all right, I'm not reminding you who I am. So it happens in real life. But yeah, whole episodes by her I won't say catching glances, her taking glances, and Rudy catching her taking those glances and things of that nature. And Paul said that Rudy had said, Dad, I sense a goddess, and just burst through the wall, which Guy says, hey, don't burst through the wall, any more walls, because it could bring this whole thing down. And it's obviously his dad comes in clutch. Paul, this is the best Paul we've gotten. So Rudy needed to punch him in the face all those years ago, because he's a good dude. Good dude. DOOD. Good dude. When Rudy's trying to figure out, because they're in the fourth, trying to get to the fifth, and the book ends here. There's two circles. One is obviously a trap. They don't know where the other one goes. It's three circles. And Rudy's looking at one, and he's like, these look familiar, but I just can't put my finger on it. And Paul comes and talks to him. He's like, hey, I want to talk to you about something, and he looks back at Roxy, and she's like, whoo. And he's like, I'll tell you back at the end. And he's like, what, you gonna reprimand me? He's like, something like that. And then he goes, and Paul is so damn, I laughed so hard. He said, Rudy, I used to fight with one sword. Now I fight with two. I don't think I can never go back to fighting with one sword. It feels better, and I love it. And while I use them both, but they both are very different, and they do different things, and they both hold a place with me. And I'm just like, he is not picking up what you're putting down. But he does pick up on the fact that every ruin that they've come across, they've had these type of glyphs where you go to a different area, have always had a secret stairway. And he's looking around, he tells Geese, hey, check for traps or a staircase. And dunk, dunk, dunk. Flips the thing. Rudy blasts the ground, and it's a secret staircase. And each of the members give him a hard slap on the back, except for Roxy. When it's her turn, she gives him a little pat. That's gonna be his other wife. That's not much of a spoiler. Come on, guys. Come on. So come on. It's obvious. Right. One of the funnier interactions was he was talking about Nana Hoshi would have been able to figure out the circles. And she's like, is that your girlfriend? And he's like, no, not at all. Not in any sense of the word, which is funny. Actually, Roxy wants to go on a small, fun Labyrinth adventure dungeon with Rudy, just the two of them. And he's like, yeah, no, when we're done with all this, we definitely could do that. And then he thinks to himself, oh, damn, I'm supposed to be raising a kid. Well, I guess I could do that afterwards. And I'm like, wait, which one do you do afterwards? Were you talking about doing the Labyrinth afterwards or raising the kid after the Labyrinth? Right? Now, when they did get her back, they were met with cries and celebration. They were happy to have her back. One of the cool things here is that Rudeus was actually pick up on the fact that they call trauma curse. Because Rudy's wondering, well, why don't we just let her rest a little bit? She was trapped down there for a month. And Geese goes, well, you got to get right back at it when doing labyrinths and dungeons, or else you're going to be cursed. And Rudy's like, they're talking about trauma. If you have the fear of it, you need to get right back at it so you don't end up being afraid of this type of thing. So that's pretty damn cool. Rudy and Roxy go shopping together. That is always a good date, especially for these medieval types, right? They got to pick up these roots that you burn, and it wards off monsters. We see them do that instantly. Those look like daemons. They look like daemons they were warding off. They get this scroll where you can write something multiple times and they'll just hold on to it. And they also look for a new blade for Lise, for Elenais, because she says, yeah, they're starting to fight armored creatures now. She's going to need something more durable. And Rudy tests it out, and the thing is strong. Expensive, but strong. We do see her using it later. Obviously, they bought her the blade. We get some more cool Paul shit, right? Because I kind of jumped around a little bit. When they're fighting the armored things, because Roxy's they're a good unit. Roxy's kind of calling out the shots and stuff to use. Tells Rudy to just, there was one thing she told him, don't use the earth magic, because a lot of these armored things she hears that they can use water god counter spells. So he does the Quagmire spell he made to sink him in, tells his father watch out. Lise likes to attack the one on left because she's right-handed and hates her sword to hit against the wall, so they crisscross. Paul solos this enchanted armor beast monster by himself, and Rudy and Roxy back up Lise, and Rudy's like, it's like, man, Dad, you've gotten stronger, huh? And he goes, well, no, if anything, I've gotten weaker. We can't take these A-rank monsters lightly. And so he walks away, and he makes the funny monkey face that they've made in the show. And Lisa's laughing at him. He's happy his son is praising him, talking about how cool and strong he is. He even says it. He says it in his mind first when they first get into that stratum. Because he goes, man, when Paul is on the job, he is so damn cool. I gotta hand it to him. He is actually really damn cool. So you can see how the ladies would fall for him. You can see that. You can see that indeed. Rudy comes to the realization that they can't really speed through it, because his initial thoughts are, Zen's been in here for a while. Can we afford to take it that slow? But slow and steady is how you get through labyrinths. You cannot rush, or you could put yourself and other party members in danger. So after 3 days of them splitting up and coming back together, they go again. I already explained about the next part of the dungeon that they went into. Which is funny, because generally when they can't decide where to go, they do a coin flip, and Geese says, yeah, we usually have bad luck, and Ghislaine's the one that usually decides where they go. But Rudy asked them if they would trust him into taking some time into making this decision. So fun episode, really good episode. We're exploring more of these emotions. Rudy praises, what is her name? Praises Roxy a lot. Telling her that, she's a great master. His master is amazing. She mentored him very well. And he thanks her for continuing to help his family and look after his family, because they were able to confer that she was in Windport and they just barely missed each other. And she thanks him, because if she hadn't come and trained him, she wouldn't have realized her limits. Before that, she got in an argument with her master. Thought she was a bit cocky, just thought she knew everything. And when she would show Rudy the first step, he would already be on step 10 or step 20 by then. And he encouraged her to go back. She got her king class magic. I'm gonna be real with y'all, I don't remember the level of, is it like a chessboard? Is it pawn, knight, rook, king, god? I just assume that king and god are like the top tiers. I don't know the rest. But he inspired that. And she said that her time in Buena Village was very much what's the word I'm looking for? She appreciates her time there. You know, Paul and what was her name? Paul and Zenith welcomed her in, and she's very appreciative. So that's nice. We're getting all that emotional interlaced stuff there. I do faintly remember the fact that Rudy did take a pair. Did he take a pair of her panties, or was that Sylvie's? I think it was her panties. He had her panties. And I think with all the boning that was going on, she was getting hot and heavy, which explains why Lilia just went ahead and slid right on in there. So, yeah, Paul, a lot of this is your fault, but this is very touching. The next episode is going to be called Parents. So I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. That would be episode 2022, right? Yeah, that'll be episode 22. This was fun. I appreciated the interaction. It's nice seeing two characters, big influences on one another. I want to say big parts of each other's lives. Haven't seen each other in years, and they come together. Hell, maybe even decades. Then they come together, and it's nice. It's very obvious. I think Rudy might have forgotten when he first met Roxy, and we're talking about her type of guy. She's like, oh, maybe if I get lost in a labyrinth or a dungeon one day and he comes in and rescues me. You literally did the one thing that this hundreds of year old demon lady, she's a hundreds of years old demon lady. She's also the panty shot lady. When I think about all the shots with Roxy, it's always the basic instincts, uncross one leg to cross the other, or her falling on the ground. She's pretty much the fan service lady when it comes to this show here. But I like the touching, and by touching I mean emotional parts. You didn't pick up on that till I just said that. I like the emotional parts in here. I love the dialogue. I love the subtlety of the art showing her shyness and her antsiness, and the fact that just demon folk are different, just because in that moment she's smitten. And Paul, being the ladies' man that he is like, yeah, son, you can get 2 wives. He still hasn't told her. Has he not told her that he's with Sylvie and that Sylvie is having his baby? That'll be for next time. Hopefully the parents episode will not be a sad one. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. My rating for this, I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5. I was gonna give it a 5. I have no reason to not give it a 5, actually. Yeah, I'm gonna give this a 5. I like this. This was nice. This feels like another milestone. You have a feeling of what's gonna happen. Will it happen? I think it's gonna happen. But we got a bit of a milestone here. This feels like a milestone episode. So 5 out of 5 for me. Let me know what you think. Leave a comment down below. Do not forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to always on so you can get more reviews like this one. Please be good, be blessed, be safe out there. Thank you for taking time out to listen to me talk about this show. All right, make sure you drink some water, wash those hands, be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk. All right, remember there are people out there that care about you. Reach out to someone if you're feeling down, you're feeling depressed, you're having some really bad thoughts. There are folks out there that would rather talk to you today than to miss you and mourn you tomorrow. So make sure you reach out to somebody. And hey, if you notice someone going through something, don't be afraid to reach out as well. All right, my social media is in the description below. Right underneath that Patreon link, go ahead and give me a follow, send me a message, tell me hi, so you came from this episode. All right, as long as you're not a jerk, I won't be a jerk back. And I'm glad that we are gaining more traction. It's 21. I predicted that this will be over by 24, maybe 26 at the most, so at least 3 to 5 more episodes. I'm excited. So I'll see you guys next time. Hopefully it's not a sad one.